Woohoo! I am actually celebrating today. I am so excited. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but today, exactly 6 years ago, is when I started the YouTube channel, when I started the Facebook, when I started Pinterest, when I started going live or public about my own mental health, that I have complex PTSD, when I started sharing what are the things, the practices and tools that I found helpful, the books that I read, the courses I did. That's when it went all public. It's 6 years, so it's an anniversary, 6 years birthday, I don't know. But I feel really, really excited about that, and I thought I'm going to do a video on this. I don't even know if you're aware that it's been 6 years that I've been doing weekly videos. There's so many videos out there. On Pinterest, there's like over 1,000 pins that I did. And probably the first 700 or so, all the background images, they were actually photos that I took, and they're not professional, and you can tell that the design is not, I don't know what I was doing, but I did those things because they helped me on my healing. And it was so important to me to take everyone with me. I wanted you guys to come with me on that journey, doing this healing together, doing this learning together, sparking hope, being inspiring. And that was my main thing. So, and I can't believe it's been 6 years. And I want to share a little bit overall about the healing, but I'm curious, who of you has been here with me all the way back since 2016, or if you're new to my world, I'm curious to know too. But I'm also curious to know what are you allowing yourself to celebrate in your life? The things that you do. It doesn't have to be doing YouTube videos. It could, maybe you started a group and you get together regularly and you jam, you do some music, or you're cooking together, or perhaps you're a person of nature. You're going out to nature, you're restoring some native plants and getting rid of weeds and things like that. Groups like that, I have friends who do that. I would totally. So that's an awesome project. I don't know what you're involved in, and it doesn't have to be 6 years. If you started this last week, are you allowing yourself to celebrate this? This is so key. So when we're celebrating, it gives ourselves some feel-good chemicals in our body. It helps us to stay motivated and keep going, because as you may have noticed, some of the practices and tools that I've been sharing in some of those videos, they might have been not quite right for you, and it's like, hey Tanya, that just did not work, I don't like it, right? Because there's so many different aspects, so many different ways our complex PTSD affects our life. Our emotional life, our relationships, our friendships, our career, our work, our capacity to move our body, because so many have other conditions with that, right? Or the inflammatory condition, the autoimmune condition, the digestive issues that we have with it. It affects every aspect of our life, and we have to become very curious, very playful, very creative in finding ways that help us make our life a little bit easier, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more pleasurable, right? And when you're doing those things, like I said, some of the practices and tools that I used back in 2016, and I've done videos on it, I changed my mind on them. I don't like them anymore. And there were things from 10 years ago someone introduced to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not having any of that. I'm not doing that. And some of those things are my most favorite things that I do every single day now. So I invite you to, whenever you hear a practice or a tool or something, and if it feels right to you, trust that feeling. If it doesn't feel right to you, also trust that feeling. Park it to the side. It's not the right thing for you right now. Maybe later it will be. If you're a bit like me, you might get bored with certain practices rather soon. They might be really beneficial, you like them, you do them every day, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Right? And that's totally okay. So that's why having communities like this where we can get together, and I always invite you guys to share your tips, your insights, your perspectives here too. Share them below the video so we all can learn from each other. Like I said, what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me, but it could be just at this moment of time. Maybe 10 years down the track, it'll change, right? And what I always also find very important on my healing journey is having intentions, right? Because those are, for example, I do a yoga stretch every single morning. It's the same one, and I've been doing that for probably 10 years. The exact same thing. I can't tell you how bored I am with it. Right? And I often thought, why don't you change that? There's so many different things that I could do. But exactly what I said, I get bored very easily. Are you the same? I kept that in, and I'm very intentionally kept that practice in to train my brain to stay focused even when things are bored. Right? Not just go through the motions, because my body can do those stretches without me thinking, right? I can go on autopilot and just go through and do them because I've done them so many times over those last 10 years, every single day, right? So the key of the practice for me is that to stay present, stay focused, and really feel into my body and train my brain to do that, right? And you may say, Tanya, that's not going to fix my complex PTSD. And it's like, you're right. No, it doesn't. Right? It's one practice. But all these tiny little practices that we keep doing day after day after day, they actually help us build that foundation, right? Because when I was going through my mental health crisis, when everything crumbled apart, that foundation crumbled apart. I had no idea who I was, what I wanted out of life, what I wanted to do. Nothing. None of that was there. Right? So I had to build the foundation. And with all these little practices that I explored and tried to be open with and playful and curious and tweak them so I liked them or didn't. If I didn't like them, I could chop them again, right? But to find out, what is it that I like? What does actually feel good to my body? What is it that feels soothing to me and my nervous system? You know, it might be different for you. But becoming curious about that was really key there for me. And let me know, is there something that has been easy for you, or something that you find challenging to really feel into that and noticing, does it feel good or not? I don't know, right? Are you there? That's where I was for a long time too. I just wanted to be very open at that journey. It is kind of rocky. A lot of things go up and down. And if you've been here with me since 2016, you've went through my phase where, you know, I had my mental health crisis was back in 2006. So by the time I started the YouTube channel, I've already done a lot of healing. But a few years ago, I had like a nervous breakdown. I was like, because I was working so much, I'm very passionate. I was doing my PhD, you know, in internal medicine, so I love researching, and that's, by the way, everything that I share with you, it comes from what I learn in books or research papers. But it's not just what I learn that I share with you. I implement that. I test it out on myself. I am my own guinea pig, and I research it on myself, I analyze it on myself, and then I share it with you guys. But I liked it or didn't like it, how did it feel, how did it not feel, right? So I geek out about that research kind of stuff. That's just me. I love it. But I overdid it in that phase. I did too much study. I was doing the videos. I was working, and there was also a lot of mold in my place, so my whole body collapsed. I had a whole nervous breakdown. It was ugly. And what people often don't tell you is it took me 2 years to get back out. I lost my depth perception. I had really bad vertigo. My gut shut down. I had migraines and all sorts. You know, it was really ugly. So I'm really, really passionate about now helping people to recognize those early warning signs within themselves when they're going towards that burnout, that nervous breakdown, and then allowing ourselves to make changes that are actually within our body. You know, acknowledging and accepting that, yeah, my brain functions a little bit different. Yes, my nervous system is a little bit more touchy than other people. my gut system is also quite touchy, right? Knowing that, but being compassionate and accepting of that, and allowing myself to adjust my days so I can still have a good life, so I can experience joy, so I can have success and have complex PTSD. You know, we can have that just like anyone else, but we need to be a little bit creative and a little bit more gentle with ourselves, right? And celebrate those little moments. Like I'm just blown away that I was able to stick with this for 6 years. And I was feeling really proud too. And it's like, oh, yeah, now I just said it. I was just thinking, it's like, it's one thing feeling proud of my achievements in private, and that is really hard. And I don't know how you feel about feeling proud about yourself, but now actually publicly saying that I'm proud of myself, it actually, my heart had just had a little shake there to acknowledge that and be aware of those little changes there, because then I know now that there is still a little bit of more work that I can do there about myself, because we should be able to just say freely that, hey, I'm really proud of the job that I did, and allowing ourselves to feel good about that. Because I know, just like you, how much time and effort we have to put in to our healing, to help our nervous system to get calm, to get out of that fight and flight and that survival mode, so we can be here in the present moment and really enjoy what's happening right now, right? It's such a beautiful sunny day, and I can't wait to go out and celebrate that. So, but I am really curious. I want to hear, what are you guys celebrating? What is that thing? You know, what is it? What has happened in your week or in this last month that you are celebrating? Share it with me, and let me know that you're feeling proud too. Okay, so we're giving ourselves permission slips to feel proud of our achievements and celebrate them. So with that, I am all wishing you all lots and lots of love and rainbows to brighten up the tough times just a little. See you guys. Bye.